Good morning. It is 6:45 on October 12th, Sunday, October 12th, and I am at the snow bowl outside of Flagstaff, Arizona, getting ready to hike to the top of Mount Humphrey and Humphrey's Peak. But here in the parking lot, I just wanted to give you a quick show of the aspens they have here. They're very, very pretty this time of year. So let me turn my camera around and give you a show of that. GoPro always surprises me with how vibrant it is. But you can see here is the trailhead, and it's rained today, but that might be it is chilly, so got to do. All right, here is the sign for the Humphrey's Peak. You can see it's 4.8 miles to the summit. I really don't know what the elevation gain is, so I'll have almost a 10-mile hike today. And the weather will be quite different than the hike I'm going to have at the Grand Canyon tomorrow. Okay, this is showing me where I am. I'm going to be heading up right to there to Humphrey's Peak, which is at 12,633 feet. So now we've answered that question. So it'll be a little bit of a nice uphill journey. According to this, we're starting at 9,300 feet, so the elevation gain is 3,000 feet. It's 5 miles one way, and they're saying it'll take 5.5 to 7 hours. And they're saying it's October 11th. I think that's wrong. I think it's October 12th. I haven't been out here to update it yet. And then I just wanted to show you that, yes, we will be hiking along, I guess, the local ski trail here. Or ski slope, I should say. Right there, mountains are enveloped in clouds, so it's going to be a beautiful day. I think it's going to be a cool hike. We'll check more back in later. All right, we are not that far from the parking lot. In fact, if I turn around, once again, you can see the beautiful aspen trees in the ski area. But hopefully there in the distance, you can see the parking lot where the cars are parked. But now we're heading right into the woods, and so I got a feeling it's going to be a little bit darker from this point forward. I'll keep the camera rolling here because I can see a sign coming up, and we'll check out what that says, and then we'll give the camera a little bit of a break. But boy, the smell of pine is beautiful. Yeah, the smell of pine up here is just beautiful. The trail's really well marked, and today we were in the, what is that, Kachina Peaks, and once again in the Coconino National Forest. It really is beautiful up here. We finally have a little bit of break in the trees. According to my route map, I got 2.87 miles left to the top. But the altitude is, it's tough. You can probably hear me breathing through this. This is the trail, so as you can see, it's very well marked. That's the way I'm going. That's the way I came from. And that's just a pretty view of the valley. Who knows, I might be eating lunch in the clouds today. This is pretty crazy, huh? Just a big rock field here. I don't know if it goes all the way up to the top or not. Luckily, we don't have to cross it. And supposedly in World War II, a B-17 or B-25 crashed somewhere out here. And because so many people were looking for debris and everything, they had to come up here and blow that airplane up. So supposedly you can still find some remnants of it, but I'm not going looking. This is the top of where that rock slide must have happened. I'm not exactly sure what. I know it's been here for years because I've seen it in other people's videos. And there's the valley. So somehow I started way down there. Trail from where I came and the trail off this way. Now, I have about a little over a mile. It says a mile 08 on my watch to get to the end of this trail. But maybe a mile back, and I'll film it on the way out. There was a sign that said we were at 11,400 feet. And I can tell you, I'm fine when we're going relatively flat like this. More of this down there. Yep, there's the roads and stuff where we came. But on the steep climbs, that altitude just smacks me in the ass. And, or it just smacks me. And I need to stop and take a break. Okay, I've reached the worst of it today. We gotta work our way up this and somehow try to follow the trail map. I've been on these rocks for a little bit, headed from that direction. And it's tough, so you're scrambling and altitude, and you're out of breath a little bit.
You guys made it!
We did!
Yeah, totally live.
We are up at the top. You can see the sign right there.
Well, I had it on my phone.
Up Mount Humphreys, and it is beautiful up here. I don't know why the last mile and a half was awful. Look at these clouds rolling in, so I guess we got in just in time. Here, those clouds are way over at the other side. Look at these clouds rolling in.
I know. We wanted to get
It's incredible. Ah, you did! So, this cross right here is where you are.
Yeah, we love that. Like if you stand here, and I'll stand there.
Okay, I'm sitting on the top of Mount Humphreys taking a quick break. This was, my distance says 421, and it was 3 hours and 22 minutes. I've been up here for a little bit. Let me just check if I can. Yeah, it says I started at 3 hours 20. That's a lap time. I apologize. And it's 10:32 in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and start heading back down. I want to see if I can get to the Grand Canyon by maybe 3:30, 4 o'clock, so I can get ready for tomorrow. But this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous view up here. And that last half mile might have been the toughest half mile I've ever done in my life. So hopefully I can make it when I get back down and go. Right here where these two people are coming up and then down that way, that is the craziest thing. I'm getting ready to head down. You can see the peak is just right here where these crosses are. But it is windy and cold. Why the peak isn't like that, I've got no idea. But the hardest part was coming up here. I'm going to say the second hardest part is going down for the next hour until we get into some tree cover and what do you call it, some shelter. I have to tell you, it is just very cool watching these clouds move over, and I imagine if I stayed here for another hour I'd be covered in them. Let me take you as I walk across here before it gets rough. It's just very cool walking along. I call it a saddle because I think that's what everybody else calls it, but I'm not sure. I could be using the terminology wrong. You can see the trail's not super defined up here, but it's pretty easy to know that you're on course. Like you can see, I just stepped off a little bit and now I'm up here, but in a minute there's going to be some crazy rocks to have to come and go around. And funny, once you reach the summit, you get a little bit of a second wind. It's still at altitude. I'm still at 14,000 feet, so I should be breathing heavier. But because I'm not actually climbing up, it's giving me a little bit of a break, I would say. So I'll turn the camera back on. We'll get to some of these challenging parts. See if I can capture them for you. Okay, I'm going to keep this thing in my chest pocket here and just see if we can capture some of the trail that I'm going on as we make our way down the rocks here. I don't know what this is going to look like, so hopefully I'm not going to be editing all out. Hopefully it does show a few things. But you got to be very sure-footed. Keep your eye open for the trail because it likes to disappear as we're going down. And then it levels out again. So these are little challenges like this that are hard going up and they take your breath away, but going down you've got really nothing. Well, there's plenty to grab onto, so I shouldn't say that, but you got to use your depth perception to find your footing. And this right here is kind of cool, walking across the second area. Once again, if you can see down there, that's your view as you're going across. Well, when you stop and take a look, that's your view. Most of the time, you're looking at your feet to see where you're going to step, because you can tell this is just all, point it down now, you know that, just all rocky right here. More rocky terrain. I hope that caught my little jerky movement there as a rock rolled out from underneath my foot. But I don't think I've ever videotaped doing this part of it here. And you can see people up there coming down, but we're all figuring this path out. I'm leaving the camera pointed down just a little bit so you can get a feel for what the trail looks like. I know it's not as exciting as the scenery, but it does let you know what we're working through. How are you guys?
Yeah, good, you.
Good.
You're very good.
Very tired, but good.
Very happy.
Yes. A little bit more of the trail here. Sorry, that was bad camera work. I just kind of want to show it, and also show this stick up here that they're using to help keep you on the trail. Just like out in New York, they have some protected landscaping up here, and they throw sticks like this up here to keep you on the trail, because you can see once you get right past that stick, the trail's not so easily identifiable. You can see it over there, but right around here, you're like, I guess that's it right here. We go right down along this. So I'm actually on the other side of the trail. So I'll get over there, but probably won't film again until we get back to before we head back into the woods. More of the ridge line as I'm heading down, and you can, we just keep going like this probably for the next few miles. There's people like that guy down there, I don't know if you could see him, that's able to run it. I need a little bit more sure-footedness than that, but here's a view of the bowl in the back that I couldn't see from the top of the summit because this just goes right along. And over there is the top of the ski area. There's another marker for the trail, and that right there is my trail. So I'll get back on it like I'm supposed to. Okay. Don't know that I got this on film last time, and my dad likes signage. This one says Humphrey's Trail and Humphrey's Peak. Facing this direction is off to the right, and Snowball, I guess, is straight ahead. That's where we parked the car. And then there's a Weatherford Trail that goes off over this way. Maybe someday I'll get to come back and do that one. That looks pretty cool as well. Like I said, you can see the top of the ski lift for the gondolas over there. And so heading down the trail right here, getting ready to get back into the trees and finishing this thing off. Okay, let's talk about this Mount Humphreys hike because it was really a good one. Right now I'm sitting at 6 hours and 10 minutes, 8.8 miles. I'd say I got a little bit about a mile to go. You're going to see I'm walking back out of that meadow from the first video I took. But this is, my friends will understand this one, this hike was Muskogee worthy. It has just about everything in it. It's got this meadow right here. It's got the woods. It's got some light scrambling. It's got altitude, and it's got mileage. It's not impossible by any means, but it is a nice, tough, and super scenic hike, and I can't believe it's right here in Flagstaff, Arizona. So the worst part of this hike, we'll start there, was the final maybe 2.5 miles. When I hit that area, the wind and how cold it was awful. Let's put it that way, just stinking awful. All right, so it was incredibly windy, and I didn't put my gloves on because everything felt nice down here. All of a sudden, you can feel your hands getting a little bit thick and everything, and then I just could not get them warm, and I could not, or there's no way I could control the breeze, but you've got the altitude, you're trying to climb through rocks and things you're not familiar with, obviously, and then you're cold on top of it. I did have a what do you call it on, a warm vest, and I was sweating to every point up to that. So I thought about turning around more than once, probably like 5 or 6 times, and that's what makes it Muskogee worthy, because it was a challenge. So I get to the top, and for whatever reason, there's no wind, it's warm, it feels good, everyone up there is in a good mood. And then on the way back, and I hope I have some good footage of that on the way back, the wind had stopped. So, it was fun. I remember even looking at my Garmin and seeing that there was only a half a mile to go. And I'm like, well, it's only a half mile, I can call it quits then. No one will know, but I'll know. So that part was, it was fun to overcome those doubts or whatever it is. It's just like, I'm miserable, I want to turn around and go home and work through them. The next thing, and it's what I always say after these hikes, I have met so many cool people. And I'm not talking about the people you just say hi to on the trail, but so many people on the trail are just so happy and pleasant. They ask you if you're okay, you ask if they're okay, and I know I've gone through that before. But I met, I want to say, was it 4 women from back east, Pennsylvania, I'm pretty sure, and they had a rim-to-rim hike planned for themselves. It was going to be their big challenge. They're all excited to do it, and of course, the North Rim Fire canceled that out, but they did rim to river to rim. So they worked their way down. I think they went down the Bright Angel Trail. They didn't go over to South Kaibab or anything like that. And then they started searching around, and they found out about this trail. Oh, look at that sun, in Flagstaff. And they're doing this. And they go, that would have been our rim to rim to rim. And, you know, I'm wondering which one is tougher, because altitude is definitely working against you. And then on the way down, well, there were 2 college kids from northern Arizona up there, 2 guys, and they were celebrating at the very top of being up there. Neither of them had ever done anything like this before, and they were pretty darn happy. It was fun to see. But somehow I caught up with them on the way down, and they walked with me for 3 miles. And we talked about all sorts of things, their majors, where they're from, why'd they do this trail. And a lot of it revolved around, they admitted, shouldn't say admitted, they're the ones who brought up, they go, how come out here on the trail, everyone's so nice, but in real life, it doesn't feel that way? And I go, I don't know, but it's one of the reasons I love doing this. People are just good. And like he said, one of those guys said, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I apologize to him for that in case he ever sees this video. But he said, you know, people really are just cool. And he's right. If you take away everything that everyone likes to get upset about, people really are just cool. And sometimes it takes us getting focused on a different task and seeing things to let us know how to do that, that we are like that. Whoa, did you see me almost fall right there at the bottom of the trail? But anyway, good day. Great trail. If you're ever in this area, come and do it. It'll challenge you, and you'll be so glad you did. Okay, here. This will back up what I said. Today's October 12th, as you all know, but the temperatures up there are 36 to 34 degrees, and the wind is 20 to 30 miles per hour, making the wind chill 19 to 25. So this wasn't on when I showed up, and of course it wouldn't have changed anything because I had what I had on anyway. But yeah, it was cold up there. That wind chill was something else. So might have made me put my gloves on ahead of time. Okay, I am going to turn off these devices, but first, let me capture 6 hours and 17 minutes, 9 miles, 0.17, everything's 0.17. There we go. Good day, time to head over to the Grand Canyon.